The Sankofa series presents Black Thought Changes the Century. By the end of the 19th century, many new developments were happening in America and around the world. One of those was the birth of W.E.B. Du Bois, born February 1868 in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Du Bois is considered to be one of the founding pioneers in Black thought and Pan-Africanism, which is the collective work and action of all people of African descent around the world. In Du Bois' life, he made a close study of his family origins, weaving them rhetorically and conceptually, if not always accurately, into almost everything he studied and he wrote. Before becoming a founding member of the NAACP, Du Bois had been a leading scholar in the Black community. The first Black American to earn a PhD from Harvard, Du Bois published widely before becoming NAACP's director and establishing the newspaper The Crisis in 1910. In 1903, W.E.B. Du Bois came onto the global scene with a keen sense of awareness. He referred to this awareness as second sight. Through this, he predicted that the problem of the 20th century would be the problem of the color line. A prediction that still reigns true in America and around the world in 2022, nearly 120 years after Du Bois made this initial prediction. He would later move from the United States to Ghana, renouncing his U.S. citizenship to serve under then-President Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana is where Du Bois would spend his final days. He dedicated the rest of his life to the development of Pan-African unity throughout the diaspora. Drusilla Dunjee Houston, one of the lesser-known pioneers of Black thought, was both an author and an activist who was responsible for the explosion of the ideas of ancient African civilizations in the minds of Black intellects with her work titled The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire. Houston was born in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia in 1876 to a family active in the Black Reconstruction era following the Civil War. Houston said that her work was influenced by her forebearers, such as Du Bois and J.A. Rogers. Drusilla Dunjee Houston said that her work, Wonderful Ethiopians, was for people of African descent and that she was not trying to, quote, reach the white race, end quote, with her work, making Drusilla Dunjee Houston one of the first early self-determinationists amongst Pan-African thought and literature. Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire by Drusilla Dunjee Houston served as a catalyst for other groundbreaking work that would follow in its footsteps. George G.M. James, another architect of early Black and Pan-African thought. Continuing the tradition of Du Bois, Houston, and others, James published a book titled Stolen Legacy, in which he claimed that Greek philosophy had been stolen from African civilizations. Claims that Greek philosophy was stolen from Nile Valley civilization brought James under scrutiny from academia and potentially the FBI, according to reports. If James was correct, the entire origin of Western civilization would topple into myth and require what would be for many proponents of the traditional view of Western civilization an unthinkable rethinking. James' untimely demise cut his time short here on Earth, but his legacy stands tall against the test of time. John G. Jackson, also profound historian and author of Black Pan-African thought. At an early age, Jackson made contributions to the development of Black thought and scholarship. As a teen, he was invited to and wrote for the Negro World, the newspaper established by Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association. In addition to his growing activities as a writer, in 1930 Jackson became a lecturer. By 1932, the young Jackson became associate director of the esteemed Leiden Society, named after the outstanding leader of the 19th century, Edward Wilmot Blyden. The Blyden Society performed outstanding roles as an African-American support group for Ethiopia after Italy's brutal 1935 African invasion. By the 1970s, Jackson's scholarship opened us up to a realm of ancient African Black thought. His work, Man, God, and Civilization, became one of many links in the chain between the research of early writers such as Du Bois and Houston to the works of those who would follow, like Cheikh Anta Diop, Ivan Van Sertima, and John Henrik Clarke. Malcolm X said, "Nobody can give you freedom. Nobody can give you equality or justice or anything. It's your human right to take it." And it's in this vein that the Pan-African movement was formed and founded in the late 19th century. Black thought at the end of the 19th century changed the ways in which people of African descent see themselves in the past, the present, and the future. Early pioneers like Du Bois, Houston, James, and Jackson helped to lay the foundation and pave the way for those who followed in their footsteps.
The Black Faculty Task Force and Ethnic Studies Departments of Delta College thank you for viewing this important presentation, and we hope that you are looking forward to Session 3. May peace be with you all.